You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere. This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. The Cameron Senior Center is inviting older residents to a free cognitive wellness program over the next few weeks. The free 7-week program will be offered through the Aging and Disability Resource Center and seeks to help older residents maintain their cognitive functions. The classes will be held on Wednesdays from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Cameron Senior Center beginning on September 17th. Space in the program is limited, so organization officials are encouraging interested residents to register as soon as possible to secure their spot. The Lakeland Family Resource Center is inviting Spooner area residents to an open house and ribbon-cutting ceremony to celebrate their accreditation as a family resource center of quality by Thriving Wisconsin. The facility received the accreditation for demonstrating its ability to engage in robust professional development, including evidence-based programs in parenting support, resource coordination, and early childhood services. The open house and ribbon-cutting ceremony will take place at their Spooner facility on September 24th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection is warning residents to keep an eye on their season tickets for the Packers, Brewers, Bucks, and Badgers. Agency officials say a number of sports fans in the state have recently reported that their season tickets were stolen by scammers who accessed their accounts and transferred the tickets to another account. The DATCP is reminding residents never to share their passwords, not to click suspicious email or text links, and to use multi-factor authentication for additional security. The Wisconsin Better Business Bureau is sharing online safety tips with families as kids head back to school. Parents should remember to be cautious about what information they share about their family on social media sites, especially during back-to-school season, and to speak with their children about the dangers of entering personal information details into alleged contests or giveaways. Better Business Bureau officials are also advising parents to consider monitoring app downloads or using parental controls to help keep their kids safe online. The Aging and Disability Resource Center of St. Croix County is inviting residents to a series of pop-up nutrition events this month. The first event will take place on Tuesday at Agave to Go-Go in Hudson from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. There will also be events at Ready Randy's in New Richmond on September 17th, the Baldwin Senior Center on September 18th, and the Wood City Tavern in Glenwood City from September 23rd to 25th. The pop-ups aim to share information on eating healthy foods, staying active, and additional resources with area seniors. Ashland area residents are being invited to participate in the local Walk to End Alzheimer's event. The walk will take place on September 20th at Central Rail Yard Park in Ashland. The goal is to raise awareness about how the incurable disease affects both the individuals and the families who care for them. Donations are not required to attend the event, but the funding raised will go towards Alzheimer's care and research. According to the Alzheimer's Association, there are over 110,000 Wisconsin residents with Alzheimer's. The Wisconsin State Patrol is highlighting rail safety as its law of the month for September. According to a press release, about a dozen people are injured in train-related crashes in the state every year. Law enforcement officials are reminding residents of proper safety practices to navigate rail crossings, including not going around lowered crossing gates and not stopping on the tracks even when there's no train in sight. If your vehicle stalls on the tracks, you should get out immediately and look for a blue emergency notification system sign. Rice Lake area residents are expressing concerns over plans for a massive new park at the former Lakeview Hospital site. City officials held an informational session on the project last week where residents expressed concerns over the cost of the project, the availability of parking in the area, and the potential for increased noise and crime. Early plans for the park include an amphitheater with enough space for around 3,000 people. City officials said the early plans are more of a wish list at this time and that the park could help drive economic growth. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources recently introduced new rule changes for recycling programs in multifamily buildings across the state. According to the new rule modifications, owners and managers of multifamily properties must provide an equal or greater ratio of recycling containers to trash containers. They must also provide enough recycling space to cover 20 gallons per week per dwelling unit. The rule changes further require haulers and material recovery facilities to provide recycling tonnage data to their municipalities each year. Republican state lawmakers began circulating legislation aimed at eliminating state income tax on overtime earnings last week. The proposed bill would create a state income tax subtraction for overtime earnings. State Senator Rob Hutton, one of the co-authors of the legislation, says the legislation would more closely align Wisconsin's income tax code with the updated federal income tax code. The state lawmakers also say the legislation will allow workers to keep more of what they've earned and support employers across multiple sectors. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
The Badgers head for Bama. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. College football. The Wisconsin Badgers have a road game Saturday against number 19th ranked Alabama. Kickoff 11 a.m. So how do the players feel about taking on the Crimson Tide? Badgers head coach Luke Fickell.
There's nothing more that you want to do as a competitor than be in the biggest games and the biggest competition out there. And to go to Alabama to play in front of that crowd, to go down there to play, in the SEC country. I think that there's not a guy within our program that doesn't say that's one of the reasons why they're here.
NFL, a short week for the Packers. They host the Commanders Thursday night. Packers wide receiver Jaden Reed dealing with a stress fracture in his left foot. I asked how he was doing after Sunday's game against the Lions.
It feels great to win. I'm definitely hurting a little bit, but, thank God we got some time to recover. Put my foot in some ice and I'll feel better.
Baseball, the Brewers and the Rangers tonight in Texas. Milwaukee losing last night 5-0. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Last week, I said that summer blockbuster season at the theaters was officially over, but it appears that no one told The Conjuring last rites. Prognosticators guesstimated that the film would pull in roughly $80 million worldwide. The film opened in first place this past weekend, surpassing the predicted amount in the U.S. alone with $83 million and pulled in $187 million worldwide. Good for the third largest opening ever domestically or globally for a horror film. For Warner Brothers, this was their 8th number one opening of the year and the 7th film in 2025 that has opened with a take of more than $40 million, something no studio has ever achieved, according to Deadline. Hamilton opened in limited release and came in second place with $10 million, and it was more horror as Warner Brothers' Weapons came in third place and now has raked in $143 million in 5 weeks. Freakier Friday and Caught Stealing finished in 4th and 5th place, respectively. If you're looking for a documentary that will make your life look pretty boring, check out AKA Charlie Sheen, a new doc that drops on Netflix this week. The Inside Look is a two-parter that explores his 3 marriages, movie career where his credits include Platoon, Wall Street, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and the hit sitcom 2.5 Men. The 60-year-old Sheen also talks about his various addictions, mental health breakdown in 2011 where he claims to have had tiger blood, and his firing from 2.5 Men for drug use. And Sheen is well aware that anytime you self-promote with a new movie or book, you do need spicy new material. So the actor is now saying he has also had sex with lots of men, and it all started when he was smoking crack. I tip my hat to the producers who somehow managed to cram all that into just 2 parts. AKA Charlie Sheen drops September 10th on Netflix. Video killed the radio star, but it's also responsible for an award show called the Video Music Awards. 2025's big event took place Sunday night. The night's big video star winners were Lady Gaga, who brought home 4 VMAs, including Artist of the Year, and Ariana Grande, who brought home 3 awards and won the prestigious Video of the Year award for her song Brighter Days Ahead. Ozzy Osbourne, who passed away earlier this year at the age of 76, was honored with a performance by Aerosmith and 2 guys I've never heard of, but I'm sure they're very talented. Sabrina Carpenter also took home 3 awards, and Bruno Mars was a 2-time winner. Mariah Carey performed a special medley, and Ricky Martin won the Video Vanguard Award. The good news is, if you missed the broadcast, that means you didn't have to watch it. Kidding aside, if you're interested, check out the highlights for the VMAs online. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm meteorologist Brandon Borbens. A slow-moving frontal boundary will generate a few showers and maybe a couple of thunder showers today. Otherwise, cloudy skies with highs in the upper 60s. A shower thunderstorm still lingering tonight. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a low of 57. Currently, it's 62.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.